Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at a nice little Harlowe build when you start a new character, what the 30 points you're going to place into, which is what I'm running around with right now. I don't have all 50 points in, just the 30, so you can have a look at what like a good build to start off with would be, and then we will go through what potentially you can add to that. So the main thing about this build is your action skill. Look at the nice little unrendered textures. Your class skill is basically a big massive ball that you fire into a group of enemies. It drags them in, it paints them with radiation, it explodes, it blows up a whole lot of people. So if you can get a nice little group of people put together, you're going to do a lot of damage. You want to have radiation weapons as well, because what they're going to do is allow you to do more damage to people who are radiated. So if you don't have the opportunity to fire out your super, like I'm going to do right now, you can use radiation weapons to do huge damage to people on an individual basis. I'm using a shotgun. You can use anything as long as it's got radiation, but you can see the massive amounts of like jumps in damage because you're like painting people with radiation debuff and then you're killing them. They also as well, once you do that, they pass on another debuff ball to an enemy. I think there's a cooldown between when you can actually have the debuff ball. Oh man, come here, stop hiding me on the wall. Boink. Oh my god, what is going on? I know it's because I haven't put all my other points in. That's probably what the problem is, but let's go over this way. I want to save my super for the bosses. That's what I want to do. See that little white ball that just popped off? That usually tracks onto an enemy and causes them to have a debuff, which means they take more damage. So hopefully we can kill this boss, because everything here is technically level 50, 51, but I am technically level 30 when it comes to my skills, so I'm way below. That's why I keep dying as well. I don't have any good like any good shields or anything. I don't have enough skill points to get massive health. There you go, you see that this debuff just hit him then. Now he's got radiation on him. He should die fairly quick if I can actually hit him. Jesus Christ, I'm not used to using Maliwan guns. I've been using Jacobs on my Siren, so it's very strange to me. Right, so let's now go and do this. Pow! Throw a couple of grenades in, because why not? Let's just get some damage on the go. Frank the Furnace, who's the tank of these three. Taking big damage. Hank, well, Sal's already dead, I didn't even realise. Oh, get out of the corner. That's not where you want to be. Throw out some grenades. Oh, come on, game. I just grenade myself. Get my super back again. I love it when you throw a grenade at someone and they like dive out of the way trying to avoid it. I probably don't even need my super, but you know, we'll take it. There we go. Not bad at all. For being essentially 20 levels below in terms of skill tree. No specialization. Just a level 30 build. I don't think that was too bad, to be honest. No high-end gear either, because I haven't really collected any high-end gear. I just picked up random things and equipped them. So, you know, not bad at all. Let's look at it. So we're going to start off up here with Field Ready Prototype. Harlowe gains increased action skill damage of 30%. This is just perfect because you're going to be firing this out as often as you can. We go straight down here to the Elementary. So I've got +2 from the class mod, 5 out of 5 points. Harlowe gains increased elemental damage and status effect damage. Obviously, you're painting a lot of targets with a lot of debuffs, so this is going to help you have increased damage for that. So then we have test subjects. When Harlowe applies a status effect to an enemy, she gains increased action cooldown rate. So these go hand in hand. The more you tag, the faster you get your tagging super back. I call it a super because it's like Destiny, like a Nova Bomb or something. Your action skill, you get it back quicker for tagging as many people. I have 3 in here from my class mod, which isn't part of the actual build. I just got lucky that it was increased status effect duration. Very lucky. Then we move down to the center path, which is radiation. Over here is cryo, and I think over here is skill damage. Then we go to Poison Sun 2 from the class mod, 5 out of 5. Harlowe gains increased radiation damage and irradiation chance. So you're doing more radiation damage to an enemy, you're more likely to put irradiation onto them, which then will allow you to get your action skill cooldown rate back, which allows you to do more damage, etc. So pretty good. Then we move down to Fissile Launcher. When Harlowe damages an irradiated enemy or an entangled enemy, shoot a radiation dart at another enemy. So that little blue circle thing that flew through the air, that's what that is. Then we have over here, Harlowe deals bonus radiation damage to entangled enemies. And we have down here the Dirty Bomb. When Harlowe irradiates an enemy, creates a radiation explosion on that enemy. So grouped up enemies, this is going to be incredible for. Singular enemies right now for me, I found to be just a little bit more difficult. Obviously, not the grunts, like the more strong badass enemies and stuff. If I can get like something that can irradiate them, such as a grenade, I think I can kind of just go and do really well in that situation. And then we have neutron capture. All damage that Harlowe's unstable energy pocket deals to enemies is stored. Whenever it explodes, a portion of that stored damage is transferred to Harlowe's gun, causing her to deal bonus radiation damage. So if you have a radiation weapon and you use this, you kill a whole bunch of enemies, your weapon will have 8 seconds of increased damage. Incredible. Then we go down to the capstone. As Harlowe's unstable energy pocket travels, it shoots radiation darts out at enemies. Whenever Harlowe entangles an enemy with her action skill is active, automatically irradiate that enemy. So it's kind of like a cycle of fire it out, do as much damage as possible, which causes people to be debuffed, irradiated, to take more damage in general, to power up your gun, to power up you, and then you get your action skill cooldown back faster. We also have 2 points over here in the blue tree for Harlowe gains critical hit chance with all skills. This chance increases every time Harlowe entangles an enemy, which is what happens when you fire out your big graviton action skill. It will entangle them. So all these play together. So that's the 30 points for a level 30 character. When you first start a new character, you have 30 skill points ready to go, and you have no specialization points. I've leveled up to level 50 and gained 40 specialization points, which we'll talk about in a second. So as you can see, everything I was just fighting then was only 30 skill points, no specializations. So with the remaining of the 20 points, I would definitely put 5 into Make Extraordinary instead of the 2 that we already have. Now, there are a couple of things here that you can use that are gun-based, which are pretty good, but Quantum Immortality is going to have health regeneration. But because we only have 17 points, I think 3 or 4 points in here, maybe 4 points is what we should be looking at, because we need some extra points for down in these trees here. Then it's totally up to you where you go from here. So you can do gain increased. So then we have a choice basically between Bright Future, which is whenever Harlowe triggers and re-triggers an action skill, she gains increased fire rate. This is going to be really good for an SMG build, SMG radiation build. It could probably potentially also help with a shotgun build, which, you know, I haven't grinded the correct guns yet for this build. So I would probably go 5 in here because it will give you a 30% fire rate increase, which I think is just incredible. So you're entangling people, they're getting stuck, you're doing more damage and you're firing quicker. That's the mentality behind it for me. Then we would go to Ripple Effect Kill Skill. Whenever Harlowe kills an entangled enemy, automatically entangle another enemy nearby. So if you fire out your big ball, your Graviton Blast, and it entangles people and it blows up and it kills them, anyone who survives that is going to be entangled again, and so on and so forth. So if you get a group of like a whole bunch of people, this is just out in my brain, by the way, I haven't tried this yet. If you get a whole bunch of people and you entangle them, then it will just keep spraying out and entangling loads of other people, and you can just finish them off and kill them because you have that increased fire rate. And all throughout that entire time, she's gaining health regeneration. So that for me is a very good thing to put your points into. So now we only have 7 points left. And looking through the blue tree, these are what I would put it into. So I would go 3 points into experimentation, or 4 points, I haven't decided yet. So kill skill, killing an entangled enemy causes an elemental explosion on all the other enemies. So we already have the kill skill ripple effect where we're entangling enemies and then entangling more enemies. Then when they die and they get killed, they cause explosions to the other entangled enemies. So anything that gets hooked up basically is just going to take repeated damage. You can make this 3 or 4. And then we have over here, Harlowe gains increased action skill duration for every entangled enemy. Now, I'm not sure about this one. I've looked at it and it looks like a tasty option, but there are other options as well. Like for instance, in the red tree, Glow Up, Harlowe gains critical hit chance with guns against irradiated enemies. Or you can even, if you wanted to be a bit fancy, have the irradiated enemies or killing an enemy with radiation damage leaves behind a radiation hazard, which is actually what I want to try because I think that'd be pretty cool. And then we have 3 points remaining. So you could throw it into Enriched, which is increased radiation damage, which, you know, just is a good choice overall, I guess, if you're just going to go pure radiation. We have increased skill damage, if you really wanted that. We obviously have glow up, as we just spoke about. So there's a lot of choices here. I haven't decided where to put these last 3 things, but I am just going to toss it into enriched for me personally, because I'm using radiation stuff or like in everything that I'm doing right now. So when it comes to specialization points, I don't have enough right now, but you essentially want to get down to a honed mind, because that sounds incredible. Action skill critical hit damage is 50% and a 5% increase in the chance of a critical hit. That means that if you hit like a big boss and you get lucky, you're going to be doing immense amounts of damage, painting them with irradiation, and then you can just use your gun with all the skills we just spoke about to absolutely destroy them. There's also choices like contamination, which is, you know, critical hits grants increased status effect application damage. There's some defensive buffs over here for like gains increased damage dealt based on the fullness of shield or health, and we've already seen that, you know, there's a lot of health regeneration on those entangled enemies. That will then give you 30%, whichever one's the highest, your shield or your health, and when it's full. So definitely things to look out for, but I think a honed mind is what you want to go down to. So for me, I think I can get there actually. If we go down to 10, we go down to 10 here. Oh, that's 8, 9, 10. And then we throw the rest of the points into here, like so. Then we have this. So we got a honed mind ready to go. We can then throw in these as well. I am a gun. So action skill damage now benefits from the increases to gun damage. So any kind of enhancements and stuff you have on that increases gun damage will increase the action skill damage. And then we also have now with caffeine. So reduce action skill cooldown whenever a rep kit is activated. So you get your big action skill super ball back faster. Then there are choices like in the zone. So while aiming, the Vault Hunter gains increased gun damage and critical hit damage per second. Bonuses are lost after 2 seconds of not aiming. Typically I don't aim down sight, but if I'm using this build, probably beneficial too, especially if I'm using something like an SMG. You could even have something like bullet train. So Vault Hunter can now hit fire while sprinting, and the gun damage, gain gun damage the faster they move. So gun damage is 15% when walking. So if you're running and moving, it's going to be even higher. That's the way I read it anyway. So if you do have an SMG and you're just running around spraying from the hip, I'm not entirely sure, but I think there's a rep kit that improves your movement speed. So if that does exist and you can use that, then you can pop it, which means you are also getting the action skill cooldown rate, and also on top of that, running around fast, firing from the hip. I probably am just going to go with this right now until I get something that can improve my movement speed. So that is what I would choose. But again, contamination and the best defense are probably also very, very good options. So I forgot that I had my Buri in my bank. This is a really good SMG for radiation damage. Obviously, it needs to roll with radiation. My alt fire is not that great. It's a flamethrower. There are things like the taser, which can, you know, do incredible damage because the tasers are basically gun damage. So with our skill and building up that gun damage, it's going to absolutely annihilate just by firing the tasers out. And the taser also procs neutron capture. So whenever the thing explodes, a portion of that stored damage is transferred to the gun, causing it to deal bonus radiation damage, which is obviously our very fast firing SMG. So taser is obviously a very good choice for the underbarrel, but just in general, the gun's really good. You can see how fast it just fires like this. So once you've tagged people and they're debuffed, you can just finish them off completely. And then pretty much any other weapon that you can think of that has radiation. I know there's the shotgun, the looming vomit, which fires out 3 different elements, and you can get that with both cryo and radiation, which obviously Harlowe has both achievements on her skill tree. So even if you wanted to go one way or the other, you will be able to use the looming vomit. So I'm not an expert with the guns yet. I haven't used her enough. Like, I've literally just hit level 50 yesterday, so I went through what I was using to go from 30 to 50, and then, you know, just put together a tiny little build. So now let's look at the difference. Same drilling site, same enemies, and we can look at how much damage I do instead, and probably hopefully not die as often, because that's embarrassing. But we can see now that we can... Oh, there's no enemies. Oh, they're all already dead. I didn't even get to do anything. That's annoying. Pow, pow, pow. Like, you can see the sheer amount of damage now coming from this gun. I'm literally on it. What is going on? Oh, I'm getting sucked in. I'm stuck in a singularity. It's actually not too bad of a build, to be fair, looking at that damage that I just put out. I am very, very concerned though about how how bad I am with SMGs and stuff that aren't an instant fire. Like, I've been using Jacob weapons for so much, having to hold it having to hold it is so weird to get it to charge up. I'm not even getting to entangle enemies properly because they're all just dying. I really wish I could see down sights, because that sight is ugly as hell. Oh, there's an entangled guy there. For a grenade, I really need a radiation grenade. Look at that, through shield damage. No debuff, just the weapon. Not bad, not bad at all. Obviously I just got to get better stuff, like to be able to do huge amounts of damage. How am I not hitting him? I'm looking him straight in the face. I really want to get him out of the way so we can fight the bosses. Jesus Christ, I did want to use my super on him. Right, let's use our rep kit. Let's throw out this. And then let's spray. So there's Frank gone. There's Hank gone. I'm going to die. Oh, Sal did Sal not get debuffed? He didn't, but he's still going to die. Ah, leave me alone. So if you could debuff all 3 bosses there, they're down pretty quickly. So you can see I'm not dying as much as I was in my original kind of build when we first came. And I probably could make it a lot better than I have. It was just oh god. For me it was just, oh, let's try these skills. I do like that irradiation puddle though. But oh, it's got an invulnerability. I hate these little invulnerability balls, man. They're so stupid. Like, you can't... Ay, 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 ay. You can't see where they are. God, this weapon, you know, has so much bounce. And not having all my SDUs for my bullets as well is so frustrating. But yeah, that's the video anyway. You know, just a nice little leveling build and potential level 50 build that could probably be refined a little bit more. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I've been Easy Now. You guys have been awesome.